Today on The Young and the Restless, Devin and Abby give their support to Mariah and Tessa. Billy is disappointed in a family member, and Tucker pushes Jack's buttons. Devin arrives at the tack house after Tessa has called him over. He's there to help talk Mariah down about her worries regarding Aria's hearing. They fill him in on their visit to the pediatrician. He's sure there are more tests that need to be done, adding that he knows what it's like to worry about your child. Tessa asks if he can explain what it's like not to hear. Mariah doesn't want to make him relive that experience, but Devin is fine with doing so. They make tea and sit down with him as he talks about losing his hearing after getting meningitis when he was a teenager. He explains how important it is that Aria has two people who will support her through this. They are having an audiologist come by, but every moment is full of what-ifs. What if Aria is never able to hear her mother's beautiful voice? Dr. George, played by Madeline Rochester-Kravitz, arrives. Devin recognizes her as having been a part of his care team from many years ago. She recalls that and says modern medicine can do wonders, but so can the human spirit. After Devin departs, a doctor performs a few tests. The first suggests there could be hearing loss and the second does as well. It's too early to make assumptions, but if this is what she thinks it is, it's treatable. But there is no cure. The doctor says that once they arrive at a definitive diagnosis, they will start with a hearing aid. If that doesn't work, there are other options. Tessa asks how this happened and if they did something wrong. The doctor assures them they are excellent parents. This condition is likely genetic. She'd like to do some more testing in her office, and then they can try the hearing aids. She urges them not to worry too much and assures them Aria will get the best care possible. They thank her and she exits. Tessa gives Mariah a hug. At the Abbott place, Jack and Billy admit they're enjoying how quiet things are in the house. Billy notes it's nice not to have their snarky sister around. As they discuss the break in Ashley's war against Diane, Tucker wanders in and asks if they've missed him. He and his wife still have things to pick up, but will be out of their hair soon. They've realized that Jabot is not worth the stress. Jack points out they will be in direct competition. Tucker knows that Jack thinks he has been deviously trying to get control of Jabot, but that's not the case. He's just along for the ride and wants nothing more than Ashley's happiness. Leaning into Jack, he tells him that he's been looking at him as a threat when the real one was closer to him the whole time. Gesturing with his head, he warns Jack that Billy is willing to sell him out. Jack refuses to believe that, but McCall thinks his insight into human nature is pretty limited. Billy adds that he's dead wrong, so Tucker explains that he and Ashley offered him the CEO position. Billy claims he turned it down. Tucker isn't surprised he's playing it this way, telling Jack about all the hunger and ambition he sensed in Billy. Billy's dislike of Diane is deep enough that he is willing to put a knife in his brother's back. Getting increasingly hostile, Jack insists that Jabot is solid. Shrugging, Tucker tells him he can trust Billy if he wants and walks off. Jack tells his brother that it's a good thing he trusts him, because Tucker made a haluva case. "What do you mean by that exactly?" Billy asks. His brother doesn't want to argue about this, and Billy insists he was only playing along. Jack tries assuring him that he trusts him, but Billy is sure that Tucker has planted a seed of doubt, and it's taken hold. Furious, Billy thinks that there is only one way to take his brother's doubts about him. After Billy storms out, Tucker comes down the stairs and Jack lectures him for sowing dissent at the company. Whatever tension he has with his sister is a family matter. McCall would like to think he's part of that family. Jack rejects that and threatens to destroy him. Tucker suggests that Jack not push too hard, or he'll come to regret it. At society, Abby asks her mother about the war with Jack. Ashley assures her it's easier to be at peace with someone when you don't live with them. They discuss the Jabot legacy and how central it is to Ashley's sense of herself. Is leaving that behind really what she wants? Ashley says the legacy will go with her, and she needs to move past the battle with Diane. "Thank God," declares Diane as she walks in, insisting she wants Abbott family harmony as much as everyone else. Ashley doesn't care. Diane's words mean nothing to her. They bicker until Abby orders them to stop before they start upsetting her customers. She gets a call from Devin and has to go, but makes them promise to behave themselves. Ashley quips that there will be no bloodshed. Once Abby is gone, Ashley declares she's trying to move on from Diane's toxicity. After she tosses a grape in her own mouth for emphasis, Ashley starts choking. Diane's eyes bug out. She leaps behind her and performs the Heimlich maneuver until her enemy spits the grape out at an unfortunate waiter. Gasping, Ashley asks Diane if she just saved her life. Diane tells her not to worry about it and offers to take her to the doctor. Ashley says it's ok, but Diane insists on driving her to the club. Abby and Dom meet with Devin in the park. He tells her about the bad news with Aria. It's still early and he just tried to talk the mothers down so they wouldn't panic. He's sure they will be fine, but this has made him more grateful than ever for what they have. They mull over what this could be like for the baby. Devin knows when he lost his hearing it was terrifying, but his family were great about it. All the same, he would get angry, feel sorry for himself, and lash out. He flashes back to how Neil would help him and offer reassurances that women would still be attracted to him. Devin would get frustrated with sign language, and he's sure the whole thing was scary for his family. They talk about what good parents Mariah and Tessa are, and Abby says they will help them however they can. Abby and Devin head over to the tack house with some food for Mariah and Tessa. They ask how the tests went and the moms recap everything the doctor said. Abby says they have a roadmap and a huge safety net to get everything they need. When they are left alone, Mariah tells her wife they need to take this one step at a time. Tessa still feels like she did something wrong. Mariah insists they just need to do what's best for their daughter and stay positive. Tessa tells Aria that they will do whatever it takes to help her. Tucker is perplexed when he spots Diane helping Ashley into the athletic club. Diane says his wife should go to the hospital, but Ashley only wants to go upstairs. When they get there, Ashley tells her husband that Diane did something amazing. She was choking on a grape and Diane popped it out of her. She's physically ok, but mentally and emotionally she doesn't know how to deal with the fact that the person she hates the most just saved her life. Back at the Abbott house, Jack calls his brother and leaves a message, asking if they can get together to talk. He's sorry for what happened. Diane arrives and tells Jack that she saved his sister's life. He's taken aback.